Yo, what's going on? This Anthony Patrick with another video, my 2 cents. This your host with the most. I got another video. Man, stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing.
Found up William Morris Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, had courtside seats right next to the Lakers bench. He had Larry David with him, star of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm sitting with them. I get there in the first quarter. I'm sitting courtside, and I stand up, and then I got my head turned, and then I turn back around, and a lot of people thought this was the end of the game or something like that. This was in the third quarter. Apparently, LeBron had walked out of the timeout, and I turn around, and he's right here in my face. He said, yo, you got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. And I said, all right, though. And he walked off.
Yo, what's going on, man? I want to talk to y'all about the situation with Stephen A. Smith and LeBron, right? Everybody familiar with Stephen A. Smith. He's the commentator on the tape. He get paid for talking about the games and the players, his opinions, and his predictions, right? And everybody knows King James, as they call him, LeBron James. I'm out here with my dogs. Everybody know about LeBron James, right? Everybody knows he's been in the game over 20 years, right? I think this is the 21st year. But anyway, I want to talk about him talking about bronny, which is LeBron James' son, right? I want to talk about him, how he feel that it was weak, it was uncalled for, things like that, right? And then he turned around and say once he was approached by LeBron, he could tell he was talking to the father in LeBron, and he felt him. He understood where he was coming from when he told him, keep my son's name out your mouth. He said, my son is off limits. He said, don't mess with my son, basically, right? So my take is, my 2 cents is to Stephen A. Smith, you cannot be going around talking about people's sons, kids, and thinking that, you won't get at least confronted about it. You can't say what you want to say about people's kids and then, expect them not to talk about yours. And matters could get worse because everybody's not emotionally intelligent, everybody's not emotionally strong and in tune, right? So in this case, LeBron, he acted out of emotions in my part, because anybody could just say anything. Sticks and stones may break my bone, but words would never hurt me. That's what we grew up believing, and that's what we grew up, that's what taught us how to not be controlled by our emotions, right? But for LeBron, I think he was in the right far as his son, protecting his son's image, protecting his son. He wants his son to be, if not better than him, at least close. At least a professional that won't get cut on his first 2 years. Somebody that can withstand the test of time and at least have a career. That's what everybody wants for their kids. They want the best for them. So in this case, LeBron wants the best for his kids. And you cannot knock him. So if it's anything that can threaten that, or his image, or his like that's on him, that that can probably hinder him in any kind of way, or future endorsements could probably be pulled down, because Stephen A. Smith is, a very influential guy, and everybody knows him, right? And he's connected to a lot of, high up people, so to speak. I don't know if they rich or what, but I know they, they on TV constantly. He's on TV constantly. He talks to Shaq. He talks to all the billionaires and millionaires. So people knows him, and he can have influence to have somebody to like you or dislike you. So I understand LeBron's situation, saying that you are a very powerful guy that a lot of people look up to. So why would you speak about my son in this manner, where you could have just said a little bit of this and that of what your idea was or what your opinions was on his game, and something that can probably better him, right? Because the thing is, as older people, we shouldn't be talking about kids. We shouldn't be talking about kids in a matter of talking down, but we should talk about whatever their situation is and help them how to better the future in whatever they're doing in their game, right? So the situation with that, I do believe LeBron was in the right only to protect his son. But when it comes to emotions, when it comes to being emotionally intelligent and being a strong person, you cannot be controlled by your emotions, because it could have went any way. What if you, excuse me, the bus passing by, but what if you was just a person that's so emotionally, not uncontrollable emotions, you can't control your emotions, and you just flip out and hurt somebody? What if it could have cost you your job? What if it cost your son's job down the long run? What if it cost unnecessary heat to come onto you or your kids in a professional game, right? This is your profession. This is your job. You never get to the point where you get comfortable, where you be unprofessional at your job, where your job requires you to be professional, right? If you own it, it's a different story. If it's your business, it's a different story, but somebody pays you. So somebody wants you to be, it's a code of conduct, it's uniform. They want you to be a certain kind of way. So this might hurt LeBron. He's getting too comfortable, in my point. In my opinion, I think he got too comfortable. I think him having a connection with the coach or whatever, the staff or the NBA period, that he feel like he could just do what he want to do. At least he could have waited after the game. At least he could have took it to social media. Or at least he could have just pulled the man to the side later on, right? And just told him what he said. But he came to him and conducted himself in a manner as aggressive, that maybe it was pulled off as like him trying to intimidate him. Him being a bigger man, it might come off that way because you're coming aggressive, but he's coming from a point of protecting his son and his son's image and his career and his future. So everybody has to understand that and respect that fact. But then you not being emotionally intelligent enough to be able to control yourself, that's the wrong part on LeBron's part. The right part on Stephen A. Smith, that anybody can have an opinion on anything. I can say a car is not a good driving car, but does that mean anything to flack or anything have malice towards the person who made it? No, they'll continue selling cars because everybody have different opinions on what they believe and what they don't believe. My situation is everybody has an opinion. That's why we have the First Amendment right, freedom of speech, right? That's why we be able to have a speech. That's why I'm being able to talk to you, have an opinion on anything, a topic, and bring y'all content for the freedom of speech, for the First Amendment. So the wrong thing was talking about somebody's kids in a malice manner, in a manner that could hurt them, right? Talking about somebody and then don't expect repercussions. That was the wrong part of Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen A. Smith is just doing his job. You cannot hate the man who's doing his job. You only got to talk to the person who allowed him to do his job. They could have told him LeBron James' kids was off limits, but they didn't. So why are you going to hate the messenger and not the one who sent the messenger or gave the message to the messenger or whatever, right? Enabling the messenger, so to speak. So why would you get mad at a person that's just doing his job? Stephen A. Smith, the good part, he's doing his job, but then the bad part, you can't just be talking about people's kids and expect no repercussions or no response. So my opinion is, well, I gave you my opinion, but my outlook, my 2 cents is that you can learn from both sides. You can learn how to mind your business. And if you have something to say something that could be possibly helpful to somebody, uplift them and help them along the long run, and just have your opinion on what they're doing wrong and what you think that they're not doing right. But you can learn from LeBron also to not be controlled or triggered by your emotions, because what if Stephen A. Smith also felt intimidated, like I said, and then responded to it and hit him? Boom. Then they would have came out in an all-over fight, all-out brawl, only because of LeBron not being able to control his emotions. Anybody can say anything about you to you, but don't mean you have to respond. Like I say, words are just words. They didn't do it, so why should you respond, in a way that you can cause, possibly, a person can take it as you cause, will potentially cause physical harm to them. Don't be controlled by your emotions. Don't be controlled by what people say, and because it could lead you to a whole ending of it could lead tragic. It could go real bad for you, right? So men, you have to control your emotions. Women, you have to not be led and controlled by words also. And we can learn from both sides, man. And at the end of the day, let's be on this earth not to talk down or break each other down, but to build each other up, help each other, lend out our helping hand if we can. Other than that, mind your business and take care of yourself. Moral of the story: don't be controlled by your emotions, and if you say something about somebody, expect a response and be ready when this response comes. And this is my 2 cents. This Anthony Patrick, the host with the most, man. And I see y'all next video. Peace.